you. Hello, welcome, welcome. Hello, Brittany.
How are you? Good morning.
I am doing great. Thanks for asking.
Good. We got a room full here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in person. I think a couple more might show up.
Okay. Awesome. Any chance that we could get the camera pointed at the audience, because it is interactive and I definitely want to be able to like see reactions.
I would prefer that. I'm good with that.
Awesome.
There you go.
Perfect. Excellent, excellent. And I see we also have, we had a couple people join, one person hopped off. I see we have Nicole Hockenberry. Nicole, if you could get your camera on, that'd be great. We're gonna wait just a couple of minutes to let anyone else join who needs to join.
Sounds good.
And folks, Jana is gonna drop a form in the chat. If you could have your people come up and fill out that participant form, just the people that are in that training room, this is going to help make sure that we send them the resources that we have for this class, and so that we have tracking of who actually attended, and when future trainings come up, we know to loop them in so that they can participate in those trainings as well.
Good. I'll email it to them quickly.
Okay, we've got Kathy coming in.
I said, well, with that said, I said, Brutus.
Great.
Andy is now
Welcome, Kathy.
What is Idris? Is it just IDRIS at? Okay.
ISS.
Oh, ISS. That might be why.
All right.
It's supposed to be.
And Kathy, Nicole, thank you guys for joining into the room. Are Kathy or Nicole in the training room with you as well, Brittany?
No, they are not.
Okay, awesome.
I'm at home, but there's no way I can turn on video. I've been a mess with my foster puppies today.
Nicole has lots of foster puppies. It's part of her big why. So that could be why her camera is going to just have to remain up. We might be very distracted by all the cute puppies on her screen.
Got it.
Love
Got
that.
it. Understood.
And I'm babysitting and got Sesame Street going on in the background here. So I'm trying to do the best. I'm multitasking is what they call it. Thank you.
All right. So if you don't have your camera on, your job will be a little tougher today, just because I'm going to be asking for feedback and making sure you're with me. So you will be expected to unmute and things like that, which is totally fine. It's just easier when you have your camera on because I can see a head nod or things like that. So just know, Kathy and Nicole, when I ask those questions, be prepared to unmute and engage.
Okay.
All right. We're going to wait just a minute or two more, and then we're going to kick things off. Oh, there we go. I see the cool camera now. Thank you.
Oh,
Awesome.
puppy is so cute.
This is my little foster right now that I'm bottle feeding lunch to. She doesn't have arms that work very well.
Oh.
You're getting lunch.
Cute.
Backwards feet.
I think.
Very cute. Okay, well, it is 10:05. Brittany, do we have people that are still coming in? Do we need to wait a minute or two, or are we good to go ahead and kick it off?
I say you go ahead and kick it off.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, Market Center. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have your Market Center. Is it 652? 652, is that your Market Center number?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, good memory. All right. Market Center 652, welcome, welcome to Command Your Lead Gen with Facebook ads. My name is Justice, Technology Training Coordinator on the KW Enablement team, and I'm so excited to get to work with you all. I've been a trainer at KW for over 2.5 years now, and I love working with all of our amazing associates in the field. Whether you're a new agent, seasoned agent, or someone in between, I love getting to talk about how Keller Cloud technology and partner vendor technology can be leveraged in your business every single day. I'm also joined by my co-host and co-worker, Jana Matskis. Jan, if you want to give an intro to the people in the audience.
Yeah, sure. Well, hi, good morning, everyone. As Justice mentioned, my name is Jana Motzkis, and I'm a lead here on our KWU Enablement Tech Training team. And I've been working with associates, our agents, leaders, tech trainers across the board on technology training for 3 years now. It doesn't seem that long, but I just love having the opportunity to partner with you all and really helping you understand how you can utilize both Command and DocuSign to help you run and grow your business. Specifically today, learning about how you can gain more leads. So I'll be helping out Justice here in the chat. I know for those of you in the Market Center, obviously you won't probably be chatting in, but I will just be here to assist. And Nicole and Kathy, if you have any questions, you can always use the chat box as well, and we'll make sure we get those answered.
Absolutely. And so Jana has dropped a form in the chat, and it's very important that if anyone comes on, that we get them to fill that form out, because it's important for not only our tracking purposes, but for your benefit to be able to receive our resources and upcoming updates with free opportunities for classes and things that we have going on with our team. So a little bit about our team. The KW Enablement team uses the knowledge we've gained from working with thousands of agents and leaders to provide training and resources to help you solve your business challenges and boost your productivity with KW technology. You'll see that our email down below, learncommand@kw.com, is where you'll be receiving a email from our team, as well as you can reach out to us with your questions on Command technology, or if you have questions about taking a class or what you learned today. And then you can also call or text us at 512-306-6709. All of our team members have access to that line, and we will respond within 24 hours, usually same day. And then that QR code, if you scan that QR code, you'll also see that at the very end, you'll get access to our team's link tree, which has all of our courses, a bunch of our resources, and just a bunch of amazing links that you should be aware of there. Excellent. So this is going to be a 2-session class format. So the first session, we're going to be focused on building our Facebook business page. And then on the second session, we're going to be focused on how you can leverage your Facebook business page within Command, more specifically with Facebook ads. We'll talk a little bit about social posts, but it'll mostly be focused on Facebook ads. Now, the goal for this session, I always like to have a goal with every class that I teach, is that agents will understand how to create a Facebook business page to utilize with Command to be able to run ads as well as post social posts. Now, some of you may already have a Facebook business page. Some of you may have created one a few years ago and never touched it again. That's totally fine. The skills and tips that we're going to talk about today can be applied to either creating a new Facebook business page or updating your existing one. And we're going to do this through a few different steps today. We're going to walk through the actual creation process of a Facebook business page, which has changed dramatically in the last few years. So if you haven't created a Facebook business page in a while, this process is going to look a little different. And just within the last 2 weeks, Facebook has rolled out a lot of new tools with the integration of the Meta Business Suite. So if we have time, I'll click a little bit into it, but I don't want to overwhelm anyone with Facebook knowledge because there's just a lot when it comes to Facebook business pages. So we're primarily going to be sticking to the basics today. We're also going to walk through how you can edit and update that page, some insights, tips, and tricks, as well as we're going to finish off by going into Command, reviewing how you can connect your business page and how to update your marketing profile, which will come into play very, very importantly next week when we talk about Facebook ads. Excellent. So like I said, this is a 2-session class, so 2 90-minute hands-on workshops. So this is going to be a class that we want you to be following along. So if you haven't done so already, have your Facebook and Command ready to go. Be present with your video on if possible. Feel free to unmute or use the chat box for questions. I know we have a predominant audience in the training room. So feel free to raise your hand, or, if you have a question, if Brittany can just let us know we have a question in the training room, that would be excellent. And also both of these classes are going to be recorded and shared with your Market Center leadership team, who will disperse to you. So it's very important that you fill out that attendance form so you'll be able to receive that recording and have access to it. Does anyone have any questions before we kick things off? I know that was a lot of housekeeping. Everyone ready?
You ready?
All right, let's kick it off, folks. So we're actually going to start in Facebook, like I said. So I'm going to switch over to my Facebook page, and you'll be able to see my Facebook page. It should look just like yours. Now, before we proceed any further, what I want to do is I want to know who's here today. So let's go ahead and just pause with Facebook and do some introductions. So if you are in the Zoom room, go ahead and type your name, your role, and how long you've been an agent in the chat. If you're in the training room, we're going to do a little round circle and just have everyone kind of call out their name, your role, and how long you've been an agent. So Brittany, if you could help facilitate that. And then for the people in the back, just speak up.
Sounds good. Nicole, do you want to go first? Because you're first on my Zoom list here.
Sure, if my dogs will participate. I have been in about 14 years with Keller Williams the entire time, and I'm an agent.
Awesome. And Kathy, would you like to go?
Yes, Kathy Watson, agent since November.
And Mike DeReamer.
Hey everybody, 7 years. I'm an agent, been with Keller Williams 3 years, I believe.
And Tasha.
I have had my license a little over a year, and I am just an agent.
And she's killing it. And Miss Andrea just popped on. Do you mind introducing yourself and just letting us know how long you've had your license?
Hi, my name's Andrea Gebhardt. I've had my license for going on a year, but recently signed with Keller Williams and just finished Jumpstart. So I'm excited to get
Congratulations.
moving. Thank you.
And
Amazing.
then we have in the room Rhonda. Rhonda, how long have you had your license?
I've had my license for 3 years.
And you've been with
Three and
John
a half
Alsh
years
for how long?
altogether, almost 6. with
Okay.
John.
Okay, so Rhonda's in the room. She's had her license about 3.5 years. She's been with the John Alsh team, however, for about 6. Sheila, how long have you had your license?
21 years.
Miss Sheila Ziders has had her license 21 years. She's been with KW 3
years.
3 years. Mike Braddock?
7 years, single agent, and
Yeah, so Mike Braddock, he has been an agent for 7 years. You've been with KW 2. And Idris,
a little bit of both, and just an ISA.
yeah. So Idris is with us.
He's working on getting his license.
He is
Not
working
just-
on getting his license. He's going to be an ISA for the John Alsh team, but he'll be doing a lot of their Facebook ads. And then Andrew Smith, how long?
Since about June or July.
Okay, so Andrew Smith is in the room. He's had his license since June or July. So we got some newbies, and then we also got some pretty, we'll say, seasoned, experienced agents.
You're in. I'll also probably be a list, so that's okay.
Amazing. I love that. Well, welcome everyone. It's helpful for me as a trainer to kind of gauge the audience and know who I'm working with. So thank you all so much for your introductions. Super excited because we're going to be together for the next 2 sessions. So let's really dig into it. So now that we've got to know everyone a little bit better, is everyone logged into their Facebook page? Intros usually give enough time for everyone to get logged in, for our stragglers to get logged in. Does anyone need a minute to get logged into Facebook still? Okay, perfect. So I want to start off by saying, before we go too far down the Facebook rabbit hole, that Facebook is always changing. Facebook is always updating things. The way that the buttons are located, the placement of things are always changing. Also, there are different versions of your business pages, of your groups, things like that, that all have to do with when you created that business page. So some of the things that we walk through today, the placement of the buttons may be a little bit different. They may look a little bit different, but overall it should be fairly the same across the board. So when I talk about like symbols and locations of symbols, if something's in a slightly different place, don't be alarmed. It could have to do with the device that you're using, could have to do with the version of Facebook that Facebook was on when you created your business page if you had one before. Just a quick poll, who here does not have an active Facebook business page? Raise your hand. Okay, so we have a couple of people.
When he says active, you mean?
I think we have 2, and then we that don't have one yet, and then we have one who needs to utilize hers.
Understood. Excellent. Thank you for that. Awesome. So let's go ahead and walk through creating a Facebook business page, and then we're going to walk through editing and updating it and adding tweaks to it. So I'm going to click on where it says see more, and really what I want you to look for is the pages button. So it's going to be an orange flag, and it might be located up above. There's also pages there. It might be on the left. It might be on the right-hand side, but you want to find that pages button and click into it.
On the left-hand side, you have a
Could be on the left-hand side, could be up above, could be on the right. Once you get 2 pages, you'll be able to see a drop down of all of the pages that you currently manage. So if it says 0, you don't have any that you manage. If you see multiple, you have multiple pages that you're engaged with. But I want to make sure everyone gets to this page. See, Brittany's helping someone in the back, I think. I think it's Brittany.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Scroll down, and then you should have our pages. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So good to go?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I'm going to click on where it says create new page. If you don't want to create a new page, you can just watch this for now. And you can always open up the page that you want to make edits to, and we can go from there. But I'm starting from creating a page. So I want to walk through the first step. So what is the page name? This is what's going to be right at the top right there, the bold headline name. I'm going to name it Nicole Burton Realty Page. This can be whatever you want that name to be. Keep in mind with all things that I talk about today, you want to be in compliance with your own local requirements. So if there's anything that you have to have as far as a naming convention or disclosures or things like that, that's going to be something that we can partner with Brittany or the Market Center leadership to help figure out what those requirements look like. But I'm just going to put Nicole Burton Realty Page right here as an example. And that's going to be what people can search for. It's also going to be the thing that people see in their search index or on their news feed when they're seeing recommended pages to follow. So you want to make sure that it's clear, it's easy to understand, and it's also separate from your own personal Facebook page. So it's not just your name. You want to have like what this business page is. Because as a reminder, Facebook business pages, while attached to your personal account, are separate and should be treated as separate pages altogether. So just keep that in mind when we're framing that. Next is the category. This is going to be helpful when people are searching for you and looking at other types of real estate pages, how they could organically stumble upon you, as well as it helps with their interests. So if they're looking at things like, you know, real estate or commercial real estate, things like that, it's going to help you organically pop up on their feed as a recommended page to follow. So some examples for categories: estate agent. I mentioned like commercial as an example. So like commercial, commercial property agent, property. You can get really creative with these keywords, but you can have up to 3. So you don't have to have 3. You don't have to have, 2. You just have to have at least 1. So if you want to just have estate agent, that's fine. Down below, the description. This is going to be your opportunity to add like a quick blurb about yourself, your bio, as well as if you have to have any sort of required disclosures or things, this could be a good place to put that. So I could say, always ready to support my clients day or night.
You come back and add that.
Even if you are not ready to buy or sell, think of me when your family needs real estate support. Okay, so always ready to support my clients day or night. Even if you're not ready to buy or sell, think of me when your family needs real estate support. It's short, it's easy, it's to the point. I could add in additional things there, but that's what I'm going to go with. Any questions on this first page right here?
I just wanted to clarify for those in the room or who else might be thinking it. This is all editable later. So if you're kind of stumped for words right now, you can still create your page and then go back and edit it.
100%. And that's a good example of pointing to, you know, why we still encourage people who have Facebook business pages to take this class. Because I've had people who will look at that and say, oh my gosh, I have a crazy category or a crazy description. I need to update that. So just know, like Brittany said, you can always come back and edit this, and you should. You want to make sure all this information is up to date and is still relevant, especially if you include things like contact information right there, which I'm going to show you in a bit. Better places to put that information. Any other questions before we proceed?
I think we're good.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and hit create page. And it's going to create that page. The next step is I need to add content to the page because no one wants to click on a Facebook business page with no photos. It just gives red flags right away. So profile photo, I'm going to go ahead and use Nicole Burton's profile photo. So there's Nicole. She looks good with the for sale sign. She looks like she's ready to sell a house. She's like good to go. And you really want to make sure that it's tailored to the business itself. So by having that for sale sign in the back, it's clearly, you know, connected to the real estate industry. So I recommend trying to keep your business page as business as possible. Awesome. And then for a cover photo, I'm going to use, oh, that is not the right cover photo. Hold on one second. Let's see. I believe it's this one. I have too many images on my desktop. There we go. Okay. The Austin Southwest Market Center photo, which has a nice downtown view of Austin. Looks great. And it's easy to connect both my market center and where I'm servicing onto my business page. This is also a great trick for if you wanted to add a business touch to your personal page. I know we're talking about Facebook business pages, but having a cover photo like that is a great way to show that, you know, hey, I'm associated with Keller Williams and I'm also a real estate agent, because on your personal page, you can't include things like realtor, real estate agent. Like you can't make your personal name on your business page business related, or Facebook will shut your business or will shut your Facebook personal page down. So you can use the same type of cover photo on both. And I actually find that it creates a little bit of brand continuity between both your personal page and your business page. Like I said, we want to keep your personal stuff separate, but this is a nice link by having that same cover photo. Not a requirement, just a suggestion. Okay. So now we've got that set. I'm sorry, was there a question?
Quick question from the room.
Sure, yeah, what's up?
How do you resize that cover photo? Because two that I picked, I can't adjust them to what I need it to be to fit on the page.
Yeah, that's a great question. So there is a specific sizing requirement for Facebook cover photos. And that sizing requirement is, hold on, I recently changed, so I want to make sure I get you the right one. So the one that I have here is 851 by 315. So the easiest way to do that is to go to an image resizer, like find a website that does that, put that image in that image resizer, and it'll ask you what size do you want to convert it to. You convert it to 851 by 315, and that way it'll be placed within that cover space without having anything cropped off, anything cut off. You just want to make sure it fits there. Another thing you can do is you can always go into designs and you can create a blank template that is specifically sized at that size of 851 by 315. There's a great answers article on how to create a template from blank, and you just load up that photo, make sure it's formatted the sizing that you want, download it as a JPEG, and then upload it here. But yes, you do have to resize that photo. There's not a way to do that directly from Facebook. Any other questions on cover photo or profile photo? All right, let's keep it moving. So I'm going to go ahead and click save here. And now Nicole's page is set up. Super exciting. So the next thing is it's probably going to ask you, if you're creating a page from scratch, to connect your Facebook page to WhatsApp. So why would I want to do that? Well, by leveraging WhatsApp, you have the ability to have conversations with your clients on your phone without having to use Messenger. That is a tool in your toolbox. You do not have to use WhatsApp. But a lot of people like to use WhatsApp because they feel it's more secure than Facebook Messenger. A lot of people don't want to use Facebook Messenger. Some people don't want to use WhatsApp and want to use Facebook Messenger. That's totally fine. Both are communication tools. You can use both of them, but just know it's an option. And WhatsApp is actually owned by Facebook, which is why it's directly integrated and looks very similar to Messenger. So I'm going to say I do want to use WhatsApp, and I'm going to send myself a code here. I'm going to get a code here any minute to connect this page to WhatsApp. And it's totally free. It's very, very popular international. So if you find that you're working with a lot of international clients that are coming to America, or if you're even working with clients that are that have properties abroad, I find that a lot of those agents tend to leverage WhatsApp because they can work with their referral partners through WhatsApp, and they don't have to use Facebook Messenger as a communication tool. Now that iMessenger allows for international texting as well, we see a little less utilization of WhatsApp, but it's still a very, very, very popular communication tool, not just in the US, but around the world. It's actually more popular outside of the US, I found. And so.
Just sorry, we have a question in the room.
Sure, yeah, what's up?
Coming up saying this number isn't associated with a WhatsApp or WhatsApp business account. Use your view.
Yeah, what do you think that means?
I don't know.
So read the message again. Read the message again. What is it telling you?
This number isn't associated with a WhatsApp or WhatsApp business account. Please review the number you entered. Try connecting another account or create a new account.
What is that very last thing that you just said? The last couple words.
Create a new account. Well,
You got it. So if you don't have a WhatsApp linked to your phone number currently, or you haven't used WhatsApp at all, you just got to create an account. It's totally free.
where do you do that?
You can download the WhatsApp app on your phone or iPad in the Google Play Store or Apple Store, and then you just plug in your phone number, and boom, you have a WhatsApp account.
Do I have to do just the WhatsApp or the WhatsApp business?
It should work either way. So a regular WhatsApp account should double as a business account as well.
And what's the benefit of you? I don't utilize WhatsApp. So what's the benefit of WhatsApp?
Yeah. So if somebody clicks onto your business page and they want to connect with you, and they do not leverage Facebook Messenger, like they don't have Facebook Messenger on their phone. There's a lot of people that don't use Facebook Messenger. If they don't have Facebook Messenger, how can they connect with you? They can always text you if you have your phone number displayed, but maybe you don't want to have your phone number displayed. Once again, folks, with Facebook and with a lot of these tools, you have a lot of options. You don't have to use all of these tools. You don't have to use WhatsApp, but it's another tool in your toolbox. You don't have to use Messenger either. You can turn that off. If you just want people to contact you directly, you can just put your phone number on your business page and people can just call or text you that way. Any other WhatsApp questions? And I think once I add the button here, you'll see why it's really easy to use. So if I click add button.
WhatsApp internationally, if somebody's in Costa Rica, instead of using other things, you can communicate with them either through texting or video.
Yeah.
On the WhatsApp.
Yeah. I used to talk to Lainey that way when she moved. I don't know if did you ever meet Lainey?
I don't think so.
I believe I heard someone say that they used it for international purposes. Yes, that is one of the key benefits of using WhatsApp. For a long time, it was the #1 international texting and calling tool before FaceTime and iMessage became international as well. So like I said, WhatsApp is still very popular. It used to be like the #1 international tool. Once again, if it's not something you want to use, that's totally fine. So I've got that button added. I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. And that WhatsApp button will appear right here. So if I switch over to viewing this page as a regular viewer, I can see that there's now this WhatsApp button in the top right. So if I wanted to connect with this page, all I have to do on my phone or on my desktop is click WhatsApp. And from here, it's going to start a conversation, very similar to Facebook Messenger. So I can text, I can call, I can send photos, I can start a video conversation, and now I have that international free texting connection right there. It doesn't cost me anything. Awesome. Now, does everyone have their page set up and created or on their page that they want to edit?
Everybody good?
No.
Everyone's good?
Give us 2 more minutes.
Yeah, not a problem. While we're waiting, does anyone have any general Facebook business page questions? Happy to address any questions that you might have.
No, this is not working.
Brittany, you just give me the go ahead when I'm good to keep moving.
Sounds good.
I can't get the verification code from the WhatsApp. It won't, I've tried twice and it won't text me.
We just have an issue with not receiving a verification code from WhatsApp. You can go ahead and skip and you can always connect it.
It
And I
just comes
think-
out of it.
Yeah, you should be able to click skip and come back to it later. If you just created a WhatsApp account, it might take a little bit of authenticating first. They may have you first link to your regular phone number, and then from there, you have to link your WhatsApp to the Facebook business page. If you're not planning on using WhatsApp, you don't have to utilize it, folks. It's just an option. Everybody knows what Facebook Messenger is, so I don't give that example. I usually give the WhatsApp example because less people know what WhatsApp is. And the Messenger integration works exactly as if you message someone else on Facebook. They message you, you get the notification, you can engage with them, and you can also even set up automated responses as well. And once again, you don't even have to use Messenger or WhatsApp if you don't want to. If you prefer having your phone number right on the business page and telling people call or text me, that's fine. You can definitely leverage that as well.
How are all of our Zoom room attendees? You all still following?
Yes. Thank you.
Good. Mike, Andrea, Erica, how y'all doing? Erica gave a thumbs up.
Hanging in there.
I'm doing all right.
All of y'all have business pages either created or got your new one created?
I do have a new one created.
I have a new one created and I was able to get that WhatsApp pretty quickly.
Yeah, love to hear it. All right.
All right, I think
I think we're good.
we are good.
Okay, so let's go into, I want to talk about updating the page info. So there's a couple places we can go about doing this, but the first thing I want to talk about is the username right here. So you're going to notice up at the top, it says facebook.com/Nicole-Burton-Realty-Page, and then a series of numbers. That's linking to this business page. We can create a username that makes the search for the domain name, I guess would be a better word, simpler and cleaner and easy to add to different things like your marketing profile and things like that. So when we hit create a username, we can add whatever type of handle we would want to associate. So if you already have a dedicated name on Instagram or Twitter, you can run that in parallel here. So I'm going to say Nicole Burton sells and Austin. And let's see, it's going to check that. I have up to 50 characters to use. If you get that green check mark, that means that it's available. If it says that there's an error, it may be related to if you have an improper amount of characters or if that name has already been claimed. So I'm going to say Nicole Burton sells in Austin. And so now that's associated with this business page. And when I refresh, you'll now see that the Facebook page is facebook.com/Nicole Burton sells in Austin. Now that looks much flashier on a business card. That looks better in your marketing profile. And that's a much nicer link to share around in different places. And if you want to incorporate it into your marketing materials for things like your quarterly Zine or your listing presentation or things like that, you know, follow me at facebook.com/Nicole Burton sells in Austin. That's always an option. Any questions regarding the username? Also note, just like it says here, people can search directly on Facebook, Nicole Burton sells in Austin, and find your page easily. So I'm going to keep it moving. I want to come down to where it says the page, edit page info button. So I'm going to click on that right there. We're going to walk through editing that information. So starting from the top, we can see the name, we can see the username, we can see the description, and we can see the categories. All things that we filled out at the initial creation of this business page. And as Brittany said earlier, this information is editable and you should edit it when you feel you need to. So feel free to come in and make adjustments. If you already have a created business page and you need to make updates, this is your opportunity to do that. And what I did, I want to just walk through that again. I saw Brittany went back there. So I'm on my business page. I'm going to the Manage Page toolbar on the left, scrolling down and clicking where it says Edit Page Info. And now we can see Edit Page Info below.
All righty, sorry, Facebook decided to throw up an error page, so we just had to get her back.
All good. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens with Facebook, as with all software, errors and issues happen. Okay, so we already covered everything up to categories. Moving down below, it's contact information. So sometimes I see people will put their contact info in the description. It's not that that's necessarily wrong because it's your business page. You can do what you want as long as you follow the rules of Facebook. But I recommend incorporating it into the contact information so that you have sort of a contact card with all of that info in one place. So let's walk through adding in the info. So I'm going to add in 512-438-5512. Now I'm going to indicate that that is a US number. +1. United States. Boot of that number out, 512-438-5512. You can also, if you want people to only leverage WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, you can indicate my page doesn't have a phone number and it will blur that area out. Email address. What do you want someone to contact you at? So I'm going to say learncommand@kw.com for our team example. And then your website, you can incorporate your KW website, or if you use a third-party website, you could add that in here. So I'm going to say learncommand.kw.com. So we've got now the phone number, the email address, and the website all added in there. Moving on, location, you know, where do you want to be associated with as far as your business? Most of the time, it's going to be your market center. That's usually what I hear. If you have I've had some agents that say they have a separate office space outside of the market center and they want to point people there, or if you're working out of a smaller business center, that's totally fine as well. I'm going to use the KWRI office as my example. So 1221 South Mopac in Austin. I always mess up the postcode, but I think that's right. 76748. Okay, just wanted to check in. So now we should have our phone number added in if you want to add it, our email address added in, our website, and our location details. Is everyone doing good on that?
Do you need an exact street address for your location?
You would just use the office address.
Oh, just use this.
Yep, yep.
So my website address is saying this URL goes against our community standards on spam.
So
To
Are
protect
you,
Facebook from spam, we don't allow content that contains such URLs. And
what's the URL?
what's the URL?
Rhonda.johnolsteam.com.
Rhonda.johnalshteam.com.
Got it. So is that, does that have an HTTPS at the beginning of it?
Oh, try that. Try putting it in with the HTTPS.
So with domain names like that, is that pointing to a KW site or is that pointing to a third-party website that you built out?
That your Boomtown. It's her Boomtown website.
Got it. Yep. So what's happening is Facebook is flagging it as a spam website because it doesn't have the HTTPS directly integrated, and the KW websites directly integrate with Facebook. So that's why I don't have to incorporate HTTPS when I have the learn.command or learncommand.kw.com. So when you use those third-party websites, you want to make sure that you incorporate that HTTPS so that the system knows that it is a secure website. Without that, Facebook deems it as potentially spam or a harmful website and will block that.
It still won't do it. Well, let me see what it is. See,
And then just copy that. Let's see what happens.
For my people in the Zoom room, how are y'all doing with filling out the contact info? Anyone have any hiccups?
So far, so good.
Andrew's
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Kathy's good. Thank you, Kathy. Mike's good. All right.
Poor Rhonda. She copied and pasted it, even though it was identical, and it finally worked.
Oh,
So-
okay.
She's got some bad Facebook juju today.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
it just came back and popped it up as spam.
Oh my goodness.
So, Rhonda, are you currently in a Google Chrome browser by chance?
Yep.
And is
Yes.
your browser up to date?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, she literally just got her laptop.
got it.
It's
So,
back in 10, so it should be.
yeah, I mean, the only other thing that I could say is if it is truly a secure website, I mean, I would double check with Boomtown. I mean, I can tell you for sure the KW Command websites are absolutely secure. I can't really speak for Boomtown, but you can check. And if it does have that HTTPS security code, you might want to reach out to Facebook support or Boomtown support, because it could be that Boomtown had a security issue that Facebook is not, they're not deeming that as okay. So you might want to do a little digging there.
If it was, could her KW page connect to her Boomtown page? Do you know if that's a thing?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Well, let's skip that one for now. And now,
Yeah, go ahead and leave it as my page doesn't have a website. And maybe I would just add that Boomtown website into your description and just have it say my page doesn't have a website for now as a workaround until we can dig into that deeper. All right, so moving past location, service area, this is once again going to help. Actually, excuse me, I did not talk about additional location details. So this drop down here allows for you to get a little bit more specific with your location details. So does your page have a physical location that customers can visit? So if you allow for, if you want your clients to be able to walk into the market center, mark that as yes. If you don't want people to be just dropping by the market center because they discovered your Facebook business page, mark it as no. Does your page travel to its customers? It's always going to be yes, because we're real estate agents and we travel. Got to do those listing consults. Or even if you're a buyer agent, gotta go check out the houses. So you do definitely travel. And then can customers buy your goods or services online? Usually most people put no, but I've had some people say that they want to put yes. That's totally up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that as no, because you're not offering specific items that people can purchase on your business page. You're not selling individual things. So I would mark that as no. However, if you wanted to incorporate, like, you know, your consultations and things like that as potential scheduling things, you can definitely do that. That is a route you can go. Like I said, folks, there's a lot of things that you can do with Facebook business pages, and I don't want to overwhelm you with those resources. So we're kind of staying in a specific lane here, but just know that there's a lot of potential that you can do. Moving on to the service area, this is where you can get a little bit more specific with where you actually work with. So if I didn't want to just say that I worked in Austin, but I specifically dealt with downtown Austin, I can do that. Now the names here, they're a little tricky because in Command, they're based off of Nextdoor. So we can very easily go to nextdoor.com and see, what those neighborhood names are, excuse me. But on Facebook, it's a little different. So for example, normally I would search for Rollingwood, Austin as a specific neighborhood that I would service. But instead I would say Southwest Austin. And see, even that, it's a little finicky sometimes with the names. Southwest Austin. Let's try just Austin directly and see what options it gives me. So Austin, North Austin, I could do just Austin directly, South Austin. Looks like those are the only ones. This has changed a little bit. There used to be more options, but I think maybe they cleaned up that list. But I would try with some of the different areas that you service if you have different names for those areas, or if you work with different neighboring towns, you can incorporate those as well. Excellent. Is there a question?
Just put Pennsylvania, good license in the whole state.
What's going on?
We can't get Central PA, but we can get Central Singapore. So we were just joking that that was going to be a part of their KW expansion model.
Got it, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, so like I said, the names here, this is a little bit tricky. Try some different alternatives to try to make that work. Otherwise, you can contact their support team. I have heard of that being an option to reach out and say, hey, like I'm trying to incorporate the service area, but it's not populating. What is the comparable name? And that should work that way. Just wanted to check in, see if anyone has any questions about additional location details or service areas. We're going to move on to hours next. Just want to pause. All my Zoom room people doing good? Feel free to just give a reaction, thumbs up if you want.
Permanently closed, yep.
What's permanently closed?
My business, you have an option to.
All right. So if no questions, I'm going to keep moving. So down below the hours, so you can either input no hours available, always open, or open during select hours. You wouldn't want to put permanently closed unless you closed your real estate business, but this is really going to be up to you. So some agents say, hey, I'm always on the clock. People can call me at 2 in the morning and I'll jump on a lead and start working with them. That's fine. Other people want to have specific hours that are indicated on their business page, especially if real estate is a part-time job for you. So when you typically focused on that business, so if you want to say 8 a.m., it's in military time. So 8, 12, and then if you wanted to add a break, I know this can be kind of a controversial thing, but some people want to have a hard fixed lunch break. Other people say, I don't do that. I just grab food on the go. So if you wanted to block out that hour for a lunch break, you can always add that plus button, add that line. So you say you work 8 to 12 and then 1, actually it'd be 13 to 1700. 8 to 12, 1300 to 1700. Or you could just do 8 to 5 or 8 to 1700.
But does it change?
That's always an option.
Or does it use military time all the time?
Yeah, does it display on your page as military time, or does
Mine's
it?
regular time?
No, it should display in regular time. It should
Okay.
display in regular time. Yeah.
I don't recognize that, but
I think that setting is determined by the individual user as far as what they see on pages as far as like times and stuff. But as far as the setup here, it should show as military time for everyone.
Well, you see some people say 1700.
and then I guess just, a tip for agents. I guess I wouldn't put always open, because when people see that, they think if they message you through your
You're
business
gonna-
page, you're
that's
going to
what I was
respond. So I would
thinking.
maybe not necessarily your working hours, but think about when are you really going to be checking your Facebook messages? Because that's when they're going to, like, if they see that you're open until 9, they're going to think that if they message you at 8:30 at night, that you're going to respond. So that's how that's how I would approach it.
Absolutely. And that actually leads me to my next point, thank you, Brittany, which is that those hours do matter, because if you set up automation under your messenger tools for what messages happen when you're on and off, that's going to impact that. So if you have always on, there's only going to be one option for like the messages that will display. And it could be a greeting like, thank you so much for engaging with us. And you can have automated follow-ups, or you can have specific messaging for when you're offline and when you're online. So those hours do play into your communication tools, which can impact your relevancy on the Facebook algorithm. So not to get too technical, it is very important that if you establish those types of hours, that you're engaging with the people that message you. Because if you don't respond to the messages that come in, it's going to impact your rating score, which means that John Smith agent may pop up more frequently than you because they're responding to the people that engage with them. And we could spend hours talking about social engagement and the ways to stay relevant and things like that. That is not what this class is about. We're going to avoid that conversation, but just know
Sunday.
what you put here does impact a few things for sure.
Well, this is for when they can contact you. So it's not necessarily when you're showing homes. It's more so like.
So then let's do, I'm gonna do.
See, Brittany is working with someone. How are my people in my Zoom room doing? Any questions from y'all?
I want to be like.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Kathy's good. Thank you, Kathy.
Just thought I'd throw that out.
I love it.
And where's the puppy go?
Me.
Are we good to go, Brittany?
We are good.
Awesome. So these last couple fields, just want to point these out. So if you have a temporary service change, for example, you go on vacation, or maybe you're pulling back on your business a little bit, you can always change some of these things here, like operating as usual, temporarily closed, open with a service change, things like that. So this is where you can make those updates there. Now down below, under this more section, this is going to be totally dependent on your local area. So if there are specific fields that you have to incorporate for the privacy policy, impression, products, additional information, anything that you're required to list here, this is where you would put that information in. Most of the time, there's not really much information that has to be added here, but I have heard of some areas where they say, hey, if you have a active business page that is focused on real estate, you have to incorporate X, Y, Z. So talk to your market center leadership if there's anything that should be there. And then finally, if you had any other social media accounts, you can link them to create hyperlinks on your Facebook business page where people can go check out those other things. So Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, any of those other pages, you can link them onto your business page directly.
Gaming.
Oh. Sorry,
All
I was
right.
like, what is Twitch? But I hear it's a gaming platform,
One
which
of the resident millennials have tried it.
It's a streaming page, so it is primarily used for gaming, but it's also a place where people can put on like shows and things like that. I have seen some real estate agents use it as a platform to be able to talk about like the buying and selling process and do like a virtual listing presentation experience type of thing. So I have heard of some agents leveraging Twitch, but it is primarily for like people playing video games to be able to show the games that they're showing, because a lot of people are into that. Myself, not so much, but it's definitely a very popular social platform right now for sure. So
thank you for that. I just said I feel so old.
It's all.
Look, the beautiful thing about social media is there's something for everyone. As you can see from this drop down, there are tons of options for lots of different social media pages. and then some. So don't feel like you have to branch out into one of the many things on this list if you're not using them. Let's start with Facebook business pages first. So now we've got that set up. Really what I want to go into next is inviting people to our Facebook business page. So there's a few different ways that you can engage with your followers and how to connect followers to your business page. Keep in mind that the people that are on your personal page are not by default going to follow this business page. You're going to need to invite them. So you should see somewhere, once again, this depends on your business page. So, excuse me, something that says invite friends or invite people to like your page. These are going to be your current friend followers. And I recommend clicking on where it says see all friends and just adding the people that you feel should follow this page. Going through, and you're also going to notice this button right here that says also send invitation to on Messenger. So you can select up to 50 people at a time, and you can send them both a invite and a messenger request to follow your business page. That is an approach for sure. So you can send those invitations, they'll follow, boom, good to go. Another thing you can do is you can take a page post, like for example, this one right here, and you can switch over to your personal account viewing this business page, because remember, business pages are separate from personal accounts. So I'm taking my personal account and I'm interacting with my business page. And what I can do, I can share this business page post. Come on, Facebook is being a little slow. I can share it. It's not giving me the option. Let me try this one. There we go. We'll use that one as an example. So if I was going to take this post, I can share it now to my friends, and all of my friends will see this post on my personal page. I can also share to my newsfeed and include a message that says, follow me on my business page. So I can add a little bit more detail to that. I could also share this link to my friends in Messenger, or share to a group, or share to another page. If I'm an individual team member that's joining a team and I want to have my individual team member page, I can add that here and I can share that to that other page. I can also share this to another friend's profile. So if you have multiple team members that are willing to support you, share it to your friend's profile. So there's a lot of options that you can share your posts to other places to bring awareness to your business page. You're going to get organic followers that are going to search for real estate agents or going to stumble upon you based off of relevancy. But ultimately, you really need to be strategic, because if you do too much, Facebook may flag it as spam. And once again, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of relevancy too much, but really just be very purposeful with where and why you're sharing your business page posts. Awesome. I have to like walk that fine line of not going too far down the rabbit hole. Okay. Any questions on that? I'm sure there might be some.
It's a cure-all for all computers.
No questions?
Everybody following along? I know we lost our big display here, but
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's at.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's.
I feel like I got a pretty decent amount done.
were you able to invite friends?
I see that where there's like a whole one, invite friends to like your page. There's like a whole.
Yep, and you can individually click or select all, or you could share posts from your business page to your personal page to get people to follow you.
Oh, so I can just. How do I select all?
I am just getting them caught up. For some reason, my big, huge TV decided to disconnect from my laptop, and I'm not sure why.
Understood. Well, as a reminder, this is being recorded. So if anyone missed that last section, you'll definitely be able to catch that on the recording for sure. And I'm also at the very end, I'm going to share with you guys a resource sheet that has a bunch of links and stuff. And one of the links that talks about sharing info about your business page out. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back over while you guys are getting settled and get ready for our next section.
Switch to your personal page, and then you can share it to your personal page and say, hey, follow my business page. Yeah.
And for the people in my Zoom room, just want to check in on y'all. Any questions about sharing posts or connecting your friends to your business page? It's a great time to ask questions.
So far, so good. Thank you.
Love to hear it.
Or I don't mind. Okay. You don't have to boost it, you don't have to. But if you wanted to, like say you wanted to share this, so I
Waiting on the go ahead from Brittany, and we will proceed.
Oh, well.
Glad it's not just me.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Rhonda, 27 going on like 77. Don't even worry about it.
And then you would click.
I just haven't been talking about my issues. I guarantee it's been worse than yours.
So why won't it let me, like it says I need to enter my phone number, so I click on this and it lets me do this.
And then what's that box on the left?
You have to put down USA or add one or something.
Yep. So then type in United States.
Oops, my by. That's wow.
Look, I fixed. Yeah,
I
was
know,
there. Are you
you
proud?
knew.
You even have a computer in front of you.
How are we doing, Brittany?
We are good. Just had to help everybody find their invite friends button.
Look at my changes.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see without a big screen, it can be really difficult to see like where to click and stuff. I'll try to be more vocal with where to click. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to navigate now to our page roles. And the easiest way to do that is to go back to the Manage Page toolbar on the left, scroll all the way to the bottom to where it says Settings. You'll see a Settings wheel on the left. It should say Settings. You'll click into that. And this is where we can manage some different things. You're going to see a bunch of different settings and tools pop up. This would be a great opportunity after this class for you to go through these settings, check them out, and just kind of see some of the options you can do. But the main thing I want to focus on is the page roles component. And this is really important because when I talk to people about how they use their Facebook page, usually the things that they say as far as management, not necessarily the best practices. So I want to explain that. As a reminder, your Facebook business page is separate from your personal account, and you can link other personal accounts to this business page. So if you're on a team, I want to know which team members in your business normally oversee your Facebook marketing. So if we have any teams in the group today, I would love to know kind of what that process looks like for you. If you have like a dedicated marketing person or a director of operations. And if there's no teams in the group today, that's totally fine.
We have a couple teams.
Yeah.
So Rhonda is director of operations for the John Walsh team.
And the marketing person who does not know the first thing about doing Facebook ads. So.
Got it. Understood. Understood.
He was like, oh.
But right now, I can't find the little wheel to.
Yeah, so it should be on the far left. You should see where your page settings. You go well, hold on. Let me go back because this is not, it should look just like this toolbar. It should say like manage page.
Uh-huh.
You should scroll all the way down to the bottom and you should see where it says settings.
Yeah, the last thing that I have, it says edit page info. There is no settings.
Is there something potentially blocking that? Because edit page info is the button directly above settings.
It was there earlier, but it's not there now.
Maybe check your Zoom settings if you're zoomed in a little too much or zoomed out. Rhonda, are you working on a newly created business page or one that was already created?
New.
Okay, so if it's new, it should be there at the bottom.
It's weird, like it's not there.
It was there, but it isn't there now.
Maybe try refreshing your screen. Everyone else is seeing that settings button, right?
Refresh worked, it popped up.
Understood.
Brittany,
There's a reason.
I know, you're the new tech trainer. You're the new tech
That's
trainer.
not supposed to be announced yet.
So we'll click into that settings button. And then you should see, folks, I'll tell you, as someone who's dealt with technology for 2.5 years, I would say 80% of problems can be fixed with a refresh. It's very powerful of a tool, is refreshing and turning off your computer and turning it back on. I'm just going to say that. So if you walk away with anything today, it's try that refresh button. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to point out is, like I said, the page roles. So one of the things that you want to make sure is that if you are running a Facebook ad and your personal account is the one that's connected to the Facebook business page, and you connect that to command, you have to be an admin. If you're not marked as an admin, you will not have the ability to create Facebook ads. So if you want to add someone, regardless of what role you give them, admin, editor, moderator, advertiser, analyst. And if you're wondering what each of those roles get, don't worry, because I'm going to share with you guys at the end a resource sheet that breaks down the roles and permissions of each of those positions. Then you can add other people to be involved with managing this Facebook business page. This is primarily going to be for teams. However, I do see agents with an admin or like a marketing person that they bring in, adding those people to their business page. I also see, like with productivity coaches, they'll come on as analysts or advertisers to be able to see the activity that happens on that business page. So there's a lot of options here, but you just have to type in the name or the email of the person that you're wanting to add. So for example, I'll add Jana to my business page. So I'm going to give Jana editor access. She's going to get, wants me to add my password, 1 second. She's going to get a message on Facebook that will appear in her notification bell that will say, you've been invited to be an editor for this business page. She has to accept before she can become an editor. And it's going to say pending until she accepts that. So sometimes I'll have people say, oh, I made my admin an admin, how come they don't have access? And I come to their settings and I see it says pending. They have to accept the permission role in order to then have that access. If they ignore that notification, you need to cancel the invitation and resend it.
So anytime,
and like I said,
anytime you send a new page role to somebody, if they don't accept it, you can cancel it and then resend it to them.
Correct. So there's a cancel invitation button to the right here. I can always cancel it. And once they've accepted that role, you can also make tweaks to that role. If you upgrade them, they have to accept once again. If you downgrade them, there's no accepting. So I have Jana as an editor. If I bumped her up to admin, it would require, I'm sorry, what's going on?
You can delete them entirely.
Yes. So that would be going in and removing them the same way that this cancel invitation option is there. I could click edit and then I can delete her from having that role access. But the main takeaway from this section is you should not be giving out your personal Facebook information to admins, other team members, or other people that are associated with this business page. The only person that should have access to your personal account is you. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back and for the guy that just ran in. When you have a business page, you want to make sure that you are sharing access to other people's personal accounts, not giving your personal account out. Because if you lose access to your personal account, that business page is as good as gone. It is very, very, very difficult to recover a business page that you don't have access to. I dealt with this for an agent with an agent for almost a month who had an admin that went rogue, changed his password. He could not get access to his personal account anymore and had no way of getting access to his business page. And he had to start over from scratch. So please, 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 for security purposes, don't do that to yourself. So I just wanted to call that out. Excellent. And you also have to be an admin to change the name of the business page. Editors can change a lot of the other details, but you have to be an admin to change the actual name.
And that's on this cheat sheet too. So you know
Yes.
the difference between each.
Perfect. Any questions on the page roles and permissions? Like I said, I'm going to give you guys a resource sheet that has some stuff on that as well. Okay, there's a lot of tools here, so I'm not going to go into super in-depth detail, but we got through a lot of this content really quick, so I'm going to give you some extra golden nuggets. So for example, you can connect your Instagram account and establish cross-posting. So let me talk about that a little bit more. If you have an Instagram account that you want what you post to Facebook on your business page to post to that Instagram account, you can connect that Instagram so that you can make those posts simultaneously between Facebook and Instagram. It automatically does that for you. Taking it a step further, you can do social posts within Command by leveraging designs, quick posts, and other marketing collateral within Command to make your posts directly to your Facebook business page. If you have that cross-posting set up, it will then take that content and post it onto your Instagram as well. Very soon, we will have dedicated Instagram social posting. But for now, because that's not the case, the workaround is by leveraging cross-posting. But there's not a way to only post to Instagram without posting to Facebook. So that's the limitation there. Another thing that recently came out that is a major can of worms here, and I don't even want to click into it, but I want to make sure you guys are aware of it, is the Meta Business Suite. And the Meta Business Suite, and Meta is the new name for the holding company that owns Facebook and all the tools and things connected with it. There's a lot of different tools, recommendations, and resources within this Meta Business Suite that you can go down a rabbit hole for hours if you want to really dive into leveraging your social media engagement on Facebook specifically. And this is for all of your business pages, not just for the one that we created or worked with today. So this is a very powerful resource, but like I said, I don't want to overwhelm anyone with any of that. So we're going to just take a step back, check it out if you want, just know that it's there. I did want to point out that you also now have the ability to make job postings on your business page. So if you're expanding your team, or if you're looking to hire an admin or a transaction coordinator or something like that, just know you can make those postings directly from your business page and potentially find your next team member, your next admin, your next assistant. So very powerful stuff there. And I also wanted to point out that you also have these business apps here. And you can integrate things like Calendly. Come on. There we go. Acuity, Calendly, AppointFix. There's so many different integrations here. So if you already have a scheduling system directly integrated within your business, you can always plug that in here and people can schedule directly on your Facebook business page by leveraging some of these tools that exist here. There's a lot of really cool connections that you can do with a lot of tools. So just know that this is really new and this is rapidly expanding. And for a lot of this, it's not necessarily going to be super applicable because a lot of what you need to do can be done in Command. But just know some of these integrations can definitely support some of the tools you might be leveraging or want to leverage on your Facebook business page. And that's all managed through the business.facebook.com portal. Excellent. And the last thing that I want to point out before we hop over into Command, and we're just going to do a quick thing in Command, is the Insights tool. Now, what are Insights? Insights are just reporting on the activity of your business page. So how many people are looking at things? How many people are engaging with your ads, your videos? How relevant are you on other comparable business pages? You can also go into the business suite from here, the Creator Studio, to manage your content that you're creating, like videos, live streams, things like that. And you can also track your reach, which is really important. Come on. And because I just created this business page, there's not going to be a lot of engagement here, but we can see how many people am I engaging with the posts that I'm making in the past quarter, in the past month, in the past week, things like that. So there's a lot of opportunity here to track our activity and our engagement, and there's a lot here. I'm happy to say that there is some engagement tracking on command that most agents can use, and that's all that they need, and that's totally fine. And we'll talk about that next week when we talk about the command side of things, but just know the content that you create through command, you can unpack a little bit more if you want by coming into your Facebook business page and looking at these insights here. So don't get overwhelmed by this. If you're like, I don't know what he's talking about, I just want to know how to make a Facebook ad. Can we get to that part? That's okay. That's totally fine. I just want to make sure that you guys know that this tool is here in your toolbox. Any questions on the insights or the Meta Business Suite or any of the crazy words that I've thrown out in the last few minutes?
Left-hand side, it looked like he scrolled towards the bottom of that menu on the left. When in doubt, refresh. And then clear cookies. Oh, I just did something. What's that? I'm so proud of myself.
What did you do? So Brock was still on as one of the admins on our team.
Sounds like we're hearing some wins in that room.
Now I know how to find it. So I went in and I was able to remove him, and then it asked me, there's some posts that are already planned out, and it lets you transfer them to you, so I could transfer them to me, and they will still schedule and post as they should.
Very nice.
How are we doing in the training room?
We're doing good. Rhonda's beating us, actually. She's caught up and finding other fun things in Facebook to do. So
Yeah, there's a lot, folks. And if we really wanted to do an 8-hour, like all day in Facebook, look, I'm down. But I know that most people don't want to do that. So Rhonda, if you want to stay after a week, I'm just kidding. No, we're not going to do an 8-hour Facebook deep dive.
We're hungry.
But no, I get it. We'll wrap up here soon. But just know that there's a lot of potential here, and unpack it at your own pace. Learn a new tool every day. Learn a new tool every week. Learn a new tool every month. Your level of Facebook engagement is totally dependent on you and your business. So don't feel pressured to have to learn all these different tools. That's not what I want you to walk away with. But we're done with Facebook for now. We can all just kind of breathe. We're done with Facebook. We're going to move over into command. And I just want to point out a couple of things. So we're going over to we're going over to command, and there's two things that I want to make sure you guys have set up and are good to go before next week. So going to our command account, I want you to go to your settings. And I want to just talk about the marketing profile for a minute. Come on.
You're in your face right there. Yep, click on your down arrow.
Got a lot of things pulled up, so my computer's a little slow right now. Okay, so within settings, did everyone get to command okay? Everyone's in command. All right, so we're gonna go to settings, and then we're gonna click on where it says connect settings. This marketing profile is very, very important because this information gets pulled into all of your different marketing tools, your website, your smart plans, your design templates, your Facebook ads, all of your different marketing things you create, pull the information from this profile to autofill some different fields. So you want to make sure that your photo is added here. If you are part of a team, you add in your team logo. Do not add information to the team, or do not add a photo to the team logo if you do not want a photo there. It is not a required field, but once you add a photo there, it becomes a required field. So if you're not on a team and you add your photo twice, you're stuck with that photo. They are working on fixing that, but just know, leave that blank unless you're on a team. Or if you're a part of a specialty like Rainbow Network, KW Commercial, KWYP, KW Luxury, all those different things, you can also incorporate that there. Moving down below, you just want to make sure your details are properly filled out. We now have the military affiliation integrated here, which ties in with referrals. Your bio, your contact information. Very important that your market center information is here. And Brittany, please make sure that all of our people that attend next week have their market center information added in, because we want to make sure that nobody gets in trouble for not having the correct logo, things like that. I'm going to drop in the chat a link to where you can find the logo. It will also be incorporated in the email and resource sheet that I share at the end. So definitely check that out. We also want to make sure if there's any compliance requirements for your area that you incorporate that into your text, your links, and your images. I am copying what the Southwest Market Center in Austin has to have. So I have that text, those links, and there's no images required. Moving down a little further, we have our social links. So there's my Facebook business page. You can also incorporate Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and it's just going to create that button directly on your website where people can click into it and it'll take them to your business pages. Finally, there's a spot to add a Google Analytics ID that is going to be used for tracking your unique visitors to your website and landing pages. If you're not using a KW website, not applicable. And if you are using the landing pages though, it is applicable. So I would recommend, I'd recommend adding it in anyway, because it may be something you use later on. And it's free. It's just part of the Google suite. There used to be a Facebook pixel, but Facebook changed the way that their pixel works. So we don't incorporate that into this marketing profile anymore. So it is just Google Analytics.
I have a question. So for the Google Analytics, and I have a Google Business Suite. So how do I find that tracking ID?
We don't have time to unpack that right now, but you should be able to go on Google and just look for that Google Analytics ID within your business suite. If you're struggling to find it, shoot me an email at learncommand@kw.com and I can send you a resource. I just don't have that resource available this second. But you should be able to find that specific unique ID for your business suite, and then you'll be able to get reporting for that within your Google Business Suite. Looks like Brittany's helping you out. Awesome. Okay, and so the last thing here, I know we're running short on time, is I want to make sure that you guys have your Facebook application connected. So going back to your application screen right here, you'll want to make sure that both your Facebook post scheduling and ads manager account are connected. And if you created a Facebook business page today and you have this connected, you're going to want to go ahead and authenticate that business page for Command. So the way you do that is you just click on where it says, oh, and thank you so much, Jana. Jana just dropped in the chat how to find your Google Analytics tracking ID. So follow those steps step by step. Also, like I said, if you're still struggling, shoot us an email. More than happy. I just want to make sure I get everyone out. I hear that people are hungry, so I want to be respectful and get people to lunch. So with the Ads Manager tool right here, if you click Manage, it's going to give you that account with all the business pages that are associated. So as you can see, I created the Nicole Burton Realty page, but it is not linked to this Command account yet. Now this part, what I'm doing right here is very important. So please, please pay attention. You want to make sure that you check this box off. It's going to open up a secondary window. You want to accept the terms of service on Facebook. If you do not accept these terms, you will not be able to run a Facebook ad on this business page. It's going to give you a drop down with all of your business pages. I want to look for the one that says Nicole Burton Realty page with the X to the left of it. When I click into it, it gives me a breakdown with some terms and conditions. I want to hit accept. Once I hit accept, I can come back here, check this off, and now this business page is connected to my Command account. If you do not do that, you will not be able to create Facebook ads. I've had multiple people in previous classes with these Market Center classes that don't do that step, and then they come to the second session saying that they can't create Facebook ads. You have to authenticate your Command account to post onto your Facebook business page. If you don't do that, you're going to be dead in the water. So after you do that, all you have to do is hit done. And if you find that you're getting any weird error messages regarding permissioning, make sure that you are the admin of that account. You can always try disconnecting and reconnecting if you made a sudden change. And beyond that, if you're experiencing any issues, you can always contact support directly by either messaging them through here with the question mark, chat with support, or you'll find in our link tree that I'm going to show at the end, you can go to answers.kw.com, click submit a request, give them a screenshot of that bug, and you'll be good to go. And they'll be able to investigate that. But most of the time with the permission errors, it just has to do with that connection. And like I said, refreshing, disconnecting, reconnecting solves most of the problems. All right. Any questions on the marketing profile or the application connection?
It's just post scheduling and ads manager we need to connect to, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good in here.
Okay. So I want to just go ahead and wrap.
Sorry.
Sorry?
I lied. One
Okay, what's
question.
up? Yeah, what's up?
That business tracking number, is that the same as the Google Ads account number?
No, it should be a analytics ID specifically for website traffic.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So switching over back to my PowerPoint. So for the next session, we want to make sure that your Facebook business pages are connected to the ads manager and post scheduling connection, that your marketing profile is up to date, and that any local compliance requirements for your posts and for your marketing profile are incorporated. You'll be able to see our link tree here, which we're going to be sending a email that includes our link tree and additional resources there. Definitely check that out for some of our other free classes. We have lots of amazing free and paid trainings that we offer to agents, teams, and leadership. So definitely check that out. I also wanted to give a major thank you, shout out to your Market Center leadership for reaching out to us, because we love talking about these types of topics and being able to teach your Market Center. So super excited about that. Next session, we're going to be talking about Facebook ads and setting them up in Command. And just to paint a little picture of that, super excited to talk about that story, because by the end of the next session, you will know how when someone clicks on an ad, they'll come into your Command account. They'll automatically be followed up with an automatic text. You're going to get a notification on your Command mobile app, all without ever having to do anything, because it's automatically going to be set up. So your speed to lead, your engagement with your new leads, and that follow-up to keep people in your sphere, it's exactly what you're going to learn next week. So to recap, I always like to kind of recap the goal for what we wanted to cover. And our goal for today, which I lost.
We do have one question in the room while you're
Yeah.
pulling it.
Yeah.
So the next class is supposed to be our time, 11 to 12:30, but we have our Market Center meeting at 12 o'clock.
So they just confirmed with me, I think today, that they'll do 10:30 to 12.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yep.
So I moved it back. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So we
We have-
so make sure you note that it is 10:30 to 12 and right in this room, and then we'll just roll right into team meeting. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, and I did find that goal. I lost it. So it was agents will know how to create, edit, invite friends, create a post, and review activity on your Facebook business page and have it connected to Command. So I would say we covered that goal today. You may have questions that pop up throughout the week. Do know that there are lots of amazing articles and resources. One of them I'm going to drop right now, which is a resource sheet that links to a lot of different tools within Facebook and regarding what we covered today with Facebook. But I'm super excited to have you all come back, and hopefully we get some more people come to session 2. You guys will have access to this recording, but please do not hesitate to call, text, or email us with your questions. And if you're thinking, hey, this is cool, I want to do more classes and more of a small group environment, please reach out to us. Check out our link tree, shoot us an email, shoot us a text. You can email us at learncommand@kw.com or call or text us at that 512 number, which is in that link tree that you guys will be receiving. But before I let you go, any last minute questions before we end for today? Well, thank you all so much. My name is Justice once again. Thank you, Jana, for being an amazing co-host. And thank you all for being a great audience, for tuning in today. And I appreciate you coming on this journey with me. We're going to pause here and we're going to pick up next week, 30 minutes earlier, like I said. And we will see you all, same place, little different time next week. Thank you all so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.
Everyone.